What's up guys, and welcome back to the West Side. We are on our second episode of What's in My Bag, where I'm gonna go over my top 5 paddles and a lot of honorable mentions. I kinda wanna talk about what bags I'm using and some of the shoes that I've been using. So let's just go ahead and get straight into it. I wanna talk about some of the shoes that I've been going on court with. First of all, these Head Pickleball ProMotion shoes. These are some of the ones that I've been using a lot because of a couple of reasons. The vents right here on the bottom, they're insane. They're like 2 huge vents over here on the bottom, and then I got huge vents on the top and then on the inside. And so breathability on this thing is like an A++. And then on top of that, it's super comfortable. I really like playing with these because I can just wear these for like 2 or 3 hour sessions and my feet won't hurt at all. The only downside to these is that they're not the most grippy on the courts, especially if your court is already kind of run down a little bit. You're gonna slip and slide. As a matter of fact, I slid already and I injured one of my wrists, and we'll kind of get to that later on. Yeah, these shoes are really good. If you're like a casual player, but you want some solid shoes where you're not gonna be like, you know, running around and sliding all over the place, you're more casual and staying in one place, these shoes are gonna be really good. They're also very durable and sturdy. They've got some really nice foam on the sides called Dynafoam, I think. And then they have some really good reinforced toe guards for like toe draggers. Really thick rubber right here and then on the sides. They're just really sturdy, man. Really good shoes all around. I've been using these for like the past 4 or 5 months now, and these are really good. I like those, but I also like to rotate them out with these Diadem Court Strike, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what they're called. And these shoes are really good. These are the ones that I like to use whenever I'm gonna be playing more seriously, like if I'm playing games where I'm more worried about slipping or my stability. These shoes are probably gonna be the most stable shoes that I have. The bottom is just totally flat, like totally flat, solid sole on the bottom. And you may think, well, is it gonna be flexible? It's actually more flexible than you think, but it's also very firm and very sturdy. There's also some decent breathability and ventilation going on. Nothing like the vent holes on the bottom of those ProMotion shoes, but they're good enough. I think they're just about average. There's good reinforcements on the bottom with your toes right here. So really thick rubber right here. The toe guard though, however, on the side, is more of like a ventilated toe guard. So it's kind of like, I don't know, perforated a little bit where it's got some gaps. So the toe guard on the side is not the best. If you're a toe dragger, you're probably just gonna tear through these just as quick as any other shoes because the rubber's there, but it's not a lot. Not like those ProMotions over there. But regardless of that, these are still really good shoes. I use these the most whenever I'm gonna be playing like competitive games. If I'm gonna go to a tournament, I've been using these Court Strike shoes, and these have been really solid. These both retail for $150. And so those are, you know, kind of steep for most people, but they're also a really good product. So if you're looking for like a high-end pickleball shoe, I would say go with these Diadem Court Strikes or the Head ProMotion shoes. So some of the bags I'm using, I kind of want to go over the bags that I'm using too. This is technically my work bag still. It carries the most amount of paddles in there. This is the Carbon Pro Team tour bag in this amazing pearl white. I use this whenever I have to go film or anything like that. If I take a lot of paddles, take a lot of balls, I'm just gonna be using this. It basically carries everything that I need. But if I'm gonna be going, you know, just real quick to like a tournament, or I'm gonna just be playing with some friends just for like an hour or two, I don't need to film or anything, I'll be taking that Selkirk bag over there. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's one of like the baseline bags that they have. It's like $90 or $100. And so it's not bad. This is $160. I take that Selkirk bag whenever I have to carry just a few paddles and a couple of balls and maybe like my car keys, and that's about it. I don't wanna carry too much stuff in there. And that one's a little bit lighter than this Pro Team tour bag, so I'll be taking that whenever I'm just going to have fun. Without further ado, I wanna break into my bag, but before I do that, I wanna mention some of my honorable mentions, and there's a lot of them. It was so hard to think of my top 5, and I've only been reviewing paddles since like the beginning of June, so I really haven't been able to get as many paddles as other reviewers. But even then, I've still gotten a large amount of them, especially fairly recently. I've gotten a lot of paddles, been testing them out, and there's just so many good paddles that came out this year. It's so hard to narrow it down to a top 5. I was thinking of doing a top 10, but I was like, no, let's just keep it top 5. I don't want this video to be like 2 hours long. So we're keeping it at a top 5. I'm gonna mention some of my honorable mentions. There's just so many of them, dude. Like, look at this. Look how much stuff I had to go through. I just like racked my brain for like an hour and a half and started writing down all the paddles that came out this year. I was like, dude, which ones do I need to know? And just like so many of them, dude. But let's go ahead and get into my honorable mentions. First off, the SLK Era Power. This is a great paddle. 200 bucks. If you have not tried this, very solid, very reliable, very fun to use, poppy, powerful, great handle, love it. Pop and Frost from Pickle Poppers. This one flew under the radar by a lot of people. Barely I see people starting to talk about it. And it's just a classic Gen 2 paddle. It's kind of held back because it's a Gen 2, but a Gen 2 paddle always feels and sounds so good, and this is no exception. 140 bucks and is basically like a cheaper paddle tech. This one, This is the good old Trailblazer of Gen 4. We got the Carbon True Foam Genesis, the 2 shape. This was like my very first main when I started playing like seriously. Dude, it's a wide body, so I didn't really know what shape to get. Everybody said to get the wide body one, so I was like, okay, I guess I'll get it. I would have gotten the elongated if I knew better, but this one's still really solid, really good. It started off the whole foam craze, and this thing's just amazing. Ruby Pro, this was in my bag last episode, and just the grit alone made me put it in my bag. The grit is so insane. There's no other paddle that is as gritty as the Ruby Pro right now. It still kind of bums me out because it's got a shorter handle, it's a hybrid shape, but it shows that I was willing to put this in my bag, and I don't even like hybrid shapes. Really fun paddle, really cool, lots of amazing tech in here. Hard not to recommend this one. Lose Tornado, this paddle's awesome. This paddle was so close to being in my top 5, like just barely got eked out by some of the other paddles. Powerful, poppy, really durable core. We got some really good grit going on, nice handle. There's like almost nothing bad about this paddle. And this is just a really good all around one. This is like a paddle that I would gift to somebody because it's so nice. And then obviously if you saw my review on the Loco, that's basically like a clone of each other. They play identical. This is just a little bit cheaper, but this one plays awesome. Very identical to the Tornado and everything that I just said. Really great paddle all around. Got a really fun character with this paddle though. I really like what they did with this paddle, how they revamped it, but really hard not to recommend. This one, everybody's going crazy for this one right now. And then lastly, this new Enhanced Duo. I barely even started playing with it like today in the morning. And I was like, dude, this thing's awesome. Like this is supposed to feel like a Gen 3 paddle, and it's very close to feeling like a Gen 3 paddle. Like it's not bad at all. This is a full foam core, but it still hits hard. It's got good spin. It feels like a Gen 3. It's almost like trying to merge the best of both worlds, and I like it. And who does not love this red and black colorway? I think it's a lot better than their last one. And even this paddle could be in my top 5. But man, my top 5 is very competitive. All these paddles are so good, very competitive. Top 5 that I picked this time around, but man, it was not easy to pick these. Go ahead and move these paddles off to the side. I'll take my bag down. I'm ready to give you all some hot takes on my top 5 paddles. You guys are gonna disagree, and I am totally okay with it. I'm gonna give you my top 5, and I'm going to defend why these are my 5 best paddles of 2025. Let's start it off with number 5. Good old Black Opal. This thing just came out, and I didn't think it was gonna be in my top 5. To be totally honest with you, I thought, okay, it's gonna be like another Boomstik. It's gonna be super powerful, super poppy. What's the big deal? That's what everybody wants anyways. Like, I'm over that. I don't even want that anymore because that's what we've seen all year. But this is more than that. Like, this is more than just a super poppy, super powerful paddle. But first off, let me start with that, honestly. Like, this is as strong as the Boomstik. When I played with my brother-in-law just like a couple days ago and we were recording and we were hitting this thing, he was practicing his serves. And I was like, oh my gosh, like during warm up, I was like, this thing is insane. Like this spin is just crazy. It was starting to dip before he even hit the net. And I was like, oh, dude, if he's gonna be serving like this in game, like I'm just gonna get wrecked. Like his serves are gonna be so hard to return. And they were. Like once we started playing, if you go back and watch my video with the Black Opal versus the Boomstik, I just could not return his serves very good to where I was like confident in giving him a hard return back. Like I was just so focused on just making it over the net because his topspin that he was putting was just absolutely insane. And it was really hard. I mean, it was really hard to fight against this paddle. I mean, I did have the Boomstik, but still, it was just like fighting fire with fire. And like when you fight fire with fire, you're both gonna get burned. And that's basically what happened in that video. This thing just hits so hard. Like this paddle is not meant to keep rallies going. It's meant to like just end them as fast as possible. And that's kind of what happened in that video. Like our rallies did not last long at all, just because these things would just end them. The Boomstik and the Black Opal just going head to head. This could easily be like the #1 powerful paddle right now. It could be going back and forth with the Boomstik, depends on who you ask, because this is a 14 millimeter. I think they have equal pop and equal power, man. It's just really hard. I just could not tell just between playing with those two. It was really hard to tell. And I even played with this like for 6 more hours just yesterday. And I was like, man, I still don't know what's more powerful. Like they both just hit so hard. But besides the power, besides the pop, this thing has a power gel layer, just like the Ruby Pro, and it really adds to this paddle. Like I didn't really like it that much on the Ruby Pro. I felt like it didn't really belong on there. Like a Gen 2 is supposed to sound like a nice crisp smack, like really clean hitting. You just feel like that plastic on plastic from the honeycomb core. But I didn't think the power gel layer belonged in the Ruby Pro. Here though, definitely belongs here. It feels great. I don't know what it does to it other than just add more dwell time, but it adds like this feeling to the paddle where, I don't know, it just feels good. I like the way that it feels on here way more than it does on the Ruby Pro. But it does add more dwell time as well. So I think that's why we were able to just rip our drives with so much topspin and rip our serves with so much topspin, because it has that foam core, which is using like aerospace like foam or something like that, like sourced from like some different country. And then it's got that power gel layer on top of it. So the amount of dwell time that you're gonna get, because it's a foam core with that power gel layer, is like amazing. You're gonna get like elite levels of spin with this paddle. The only downside that I think for me, other than the fact that it's kind of hard to control, is the fact that it has a little bit smaller sweet spot than I would have wanted to have. I had to put weights on the sides, on both sides, just like right below 3 and 9 o'clock, just 3 grams each. And then on top of that, it's a hybrid shape. I just don't like hybrid shapes. I don't know, just give me an elongated, bro. Like, I just want an elongated paddle. Like for me, I like to have enough room to put both of my hands on there and I just feel comfortable. Right here, like this middle finger is already struggling to get down to the handle. Like I'd have to lower my grip like down here and then I have room. I don't like that. I don't want to be holding my handle to where it's like starting to fall off on one hand so I can make room for my top hand. If you made this into an elongated paddle, 6-0, if you're watching this, please do it. Like just, if you've thought about it already, just do it. I would really consider even making this my main. It'd probably be like my number 1 or number 2 paddle because it's fun. This thing is really fun. Now the last thing I wanted to mention was like the diamond tough texture is not as gritty as the Ruby Pro. So don't think that when you buy your Ruby Pro and then you buy your black opal, they're gonna be the same. They're not. But I guess we'll see if it lasts as long as it should, as long as people say it does. Because I mean, if they're using real diamonds, like that's a pretty huge thing. But that's my number 5. I didn't think it was gonna even break my top 5 because I got it so late and I was like, nah, it's not gonna even make it in there. It did. But let's move in to my next paddle, my number 4 paddle. And this is just gonna be a reiteration of a different model that they had and they just made it even better. I'm talking about the Huarache X Alpha Pro Power. That good old 6-inch handle. Like who on earth does not like the 6-inch handle? Like this feels so amazing. I have so much room. Look at that. I just have so much room when I put my 2 hands on here. I don't even think about it. When I'm playing doubles or singles, I don't even think about having to make room for my other hand. It just happens, dude. I love it. This is like that one feature I'm like, oh, if you had this, man, I would love that paddle. Most of these paddles, I don't know if you noticed, are all elongated. Actually, all of them are elongated. There is no other hybrid in my honorable mentions or in the bottom of my top 5, like not at all. This is the only hybrid. So that's kind of saying something. This is number 5 and it's a hybrid. It's good, I like it. But anyway, back to the Huarache X Alpha Pro Power. This thing's obviously got really good power, really good pop. The owner told me that it's basically just like the same level of power and pop as the original Huarache X Power. They just made the cell sizes like 2 millimeters larger. So instead of 8 millimeters, they're 10 millimeters. So that should help with the dwell time. And I did notice a slight increase in dwell time. And so that kind of helped because when I'm playing singles games, which I like to do with this paddle, I was able to get more dwell time and just felt a little bit more comfortable driving my shots because I could shape the ball a little bit easier. It didn't sacrifice power, it didn't really sacrifice pop, and so they were able to add like another aspect of this paddle that the other one was missing. And so I appreciated that. I didn't think it was necessary, but they did it anyways, and they made one of their best paddles even better with this Alpha Pro Power model. I think all their models for the Alpha Pro Power are great. The Pegasus and the Vapor, I think it's the Vapor, yeah. They're both really good. I just prefer the 6-inch handle. Like when you have the ability to get a paddle that's this good and it has a 6-inch handle, like why would you pass that up? This just feels great, man. There's nothing else like it. This paddle just works for me. I don't even play it with weight, man. Like I don't play it with any weight at all. It just feels good stock. I like it. And this is one of those paddles that you can just take out of the box and just start playing good with it. And so I like it. There are other paddles in here that probably do a little bit things better. It is a Gen 3 after all, and so it's gonna be missing out on some of the good aspects of Gen 4, but I think this just feels so good because it's a Gen 2 or a Gen 3. I think everybody, if you have a lot of paddles, you should just keep at least one Gen 2 or Gen 3 in your bag, because I know a lot of people like foam, including myself, but I keep a Gen 2 or Gen 3 in my bag because I like the way that it feels. I just feel way more connected to the ball when it comes to paddles like this. And so I think, in my humble personal opinion, I think this is like the best Gen 3 paddle on the market right now. Obviously, you know, you can take that for what you want. Tell me that the Perseus is better or the Canon, whatever. I think the Huarache X is the best right now. That's my hot take on the number 4 spot for my what's in my bag. Now the number 3 one, this is a pretty controversial one because this used to be my number 1 spot in last episode. And we are talking about the Selkirk Boomstik. This used to be my main boy for a good 2.5 months. And then he got replaced. But this is still an awesome paddle. Obviously, it's an awesome paddle. I mean, the sales on this thing are like ridiculous, okay? Everybody's buying it. I just went to go play in Las Cruces, New Mexico, just like a couple days ago, and I just saw like 7 or 8 people using this paddle. And I saw people with like all skill levels using this paddle, from like beginner where people were like learning how to dink, to like some dude that was just playing like a maniac with his boomstick. And like everybody's buying these things. Everybody wants to have the most powerful paddle on the market right now. And I think this one and the Black Opal are neck and neck right now. But if you want the best, this is it right here. This has the most power, this has the most pop, and then on top of that, it also has the best sweet spot. And this is what made me fall in love with the paddle in the first place. There is no other paddle that has a sweet spot like this stock out of the box, or even when you modify it, it doesn't feel this good. Like, I get it, the MOI tuning weights help a lot, but I've heard from a lot of people that even when they take them off, whatever the engineers did to the core, it still feels just as good. Like, the sweet spot is still amazing when it comes to this paddle without the tuning weights. And so I didn't even add that much weight on my own paddle. I only put like a 3-gram sticker here and a 3-gram sticker here, just to kind of bring the balance point down just a little bit. And that's it. Like, I don't need any more weight on this because it already plays amazing. Obviously, I replaced it because I don't think I could handle that much power. My technique is not down to where I can handle the power and control it and harness it to use it to the best of its abilities. That's kind of why I put it away in the first place. But I just still keep it in my bag because, like, when I want power and I just really want to like show off with like just hitting some sort of crazy drive or getting into like some really crazy hand battles and just like exploding with this paddle, I keep it in my bag just for that because I really enjoy this paddle still. It's still really fun. It's just a little bit hard for me to use. So like when I want to win and I'm going to play my best game, I'll put this away because I can't handle it. I can't utilize it that good. But when I'm playing for fun and I really just want to show off, like, I'll probably pick out this paddle again and just take it out because it's just so much fun to use. Not to mention, like, this is still one of the only like Gen 4 foam core paddles where it feels different than the other Gen 4s. Like, a lot of the other Gen 4s still feel very like thick, very muted, like you don't get a lot of feedback. This one still does give pretty decent feedback. Like, it's not anything crazy, but it does feel different. The noise obviously contributes to the fact that it feels different, but I like it because at the time when it came out, there was nothing else like it. It was just like a one of a kind. And now I think other companies are gonna start catching up, like 6-0, and even like the Inferno. They're gonna start catching up and they're gonna start making paddles that are similar to this. But as of right now, I don't think anything can really beat this still. And so I still keep this in my bag because if I need that firepower, I wanna be able to bring it out whenever I want. Now, this number 2 spot could be very interchangeable with my number 1 spot, but I think there's a couple reasons why I kind of put it at number 2, but it was very close to being my number 1. And that is gonna be the Pro 4 Inferno. When I first got this, I had no idea how good it was gonna be. I genuinely thought that it was just gonna be a very mediocre paddle. But the more that I've played with it, especially recently, I've been playing with it a lot recently. Oh my gosh, it's so unique. It is such a unique paddle just based off of the way that it feels and the way that it sounds. Not to mention that it's got really good power, really good pop, really good spin, and it's got everything else that I'm looking for. It's an elongated, it's got a decently shaped handle right here, you know, just long enough for my 2 hands. And then you add on top of the fact that it's got this crazy sound. I mean, when you hit this, like, you're going to hear it all the way on the other side of the courts. Like, if you know anybody that plays with this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When they take out this Pro 4 Inferno and they start playing with it, you're like, oh my gosh, bro, like, that's all I'm gonna be able to hear in my video when I'm recording now is this crazy poppy paddle just sounding off in the background of my video. And I like it. I love the way that it feels and I love the way that it sounds. There's nothing else like it right now. Even the Boomstik is not as loud or as like hollow sounding as this Pro 4 Inferno. And like over time, it's gotten even more hollow and like thuddy. It's crazy, man. I don't think it's broken. It's kind of like softening up maybe a little bit, I think, but it's more loud than when I first started playing with it. I kind of like that even more. I like to annoy people with how loud this paddle is. Everybody comments on it. Like, whenever I go and I play like with just like randoms, people are always commenting like, dude, like, is that paddle corked or like what's wrong with you? I was like, no, dude, that's just how it comes stock, man. It's great. You don't even need weight to play with it. I mean, it's got only weights in the bottom right here, just like very similar to my Boomstik, because initially I had put 6 grams right here and right here to kind of mimic the weight of the Boomstik. But then I felt like, nah, it's a little too head heavy. Let me take it off. And so I took it off and it still played amazing. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna leave these 2 bottom ones on here to bring the balance point down just a little bit. And it plays great. The hand speed's great. The power is great. The spin's great. The pop's great. All that stuff is really, really good, but it's very controllable too. The sweet spot is very, very good. It's not like the Boomstik, but is maybe just like a step down. Like, I honestly think this is like a cheaper Boomstik and it plays nearly as good as the Boomstik, just for like, you know, $140 cheaper. And I mean, hey, if you're saving money, you're trying to save money, this is the one to go to. Like, honestly, if you have not tried this paddle out, please try it out. You have to try it for yourself, because if you've played with stuff like a Bread and Butter Loco, if you've been playing with like an old Ruby or like whatever it may be, you've never felt anything or played with anything like this paddle right here. It's so cool, it's so unique, it's so obnoxious sometimes, man. Like whenever people play with this, it's so doggone loud. I'm like, hey dude, I respect that. Like you're taking this thing out and it's so loud, but I respect that. Really fun paddle. I really like it. I just don't really have any complaints about the performance at all. Like I really can't think of anything. I can complain about the paint just like scraping off. I take very good care of my paddles. So you would think, hey, you know what? Why isn't you scratched up more? Don't you have like a lot of hours on it? I do. I just take very good care of them. But yeah, the paint scratches off really, really easy. And the handles maybe just a little bit squishy. Like I wish it was maybe a little bit more firm. Other than that, that's like the only thing I can really nitpick about this brand. But I mean, this brand just blew up out of nowhere, man. I remember when I first reviewed it, like nobody else reviewed it. And I was like, am I the only one that likes this thing? And then maybe like a month and a half ago, like this thing just blew up and now it's everywhere. And so if you want to pick one of these up, I recommend that you pick it up and you try it out because it's a really solid paddle. Now, getting into my #1 paddle of the year, I'm going to bring out 2 of them because I have a paddle that's #1 for singles. I have a paddle that's #1 for doubles. And these are going to be a really hot take. I've got the True Foam Waves 1 for my singles paddle and the Diadem Edge Blue Core for my doubles paddle. Hear me out, okay? Starting off with the True Foam Waves. I know everybody hates it. Y'all are haters, dude. You guys need to try this in like singles matches. This paddle is like my go-to for singles matches. Whenever I want to win and whenever I want to really try hard, I take out this paddle. Well, not this one. This is the limited edition Summit. And if you want to get one of these things are going to go fast on November 18th, but I'm not playing with this, bro. This is one that you buy and you just hang it up on the wall in all of its glory and you just let it collect dust for the rest of its life. But this paddle gives me everything that I want when I'm playing singles. Now, I know you're going to say that the sweet spot sucks. You're right. I know you're going to say that it's not very controllable. You're also right. I know you're going to say that the power is not the most, and you're also right. But all those things, I don't really care about in singles. Like for singles matches, I just want a paddle that hits hard enough and I can control it so I can get good passing shots. I also want a paddle that has really good topspin so that when I hit my passing shots, they dip over the net faster. And on my serves, I can really launch these serves really hard to give me an advantage for the rest of that point. This paddle does exactly that, and that's all I need. I don't really care about the sweet spot all that much or about how it does on soft hits because I'm not trying to get into soft hits or dinking battles in a singles match. Like I'm really not trying to do that. I'm trying to drive the ball and end this point as fast as possible. And especially with the way that singles has been turning out now, like with the way that it's transforming over time, the way that singles matches have been playing in the PPA tournament is just basically hitting back and forth on the baseline, trying to hit a better drive, trying to get a passing shot on the other person. And that's how Hunter Johnson plays, that's how Chris Hayworth plays, and that's just how the game of singles is kind of evolving. So I'm trying to keep up with that. I think this paddle does just that for me. I love the shape that you can get when you're driving the ball. It does amazing. I also like how much it can spin the ball. The top spin is crazy when you serve it, and I really like that because my serves give me an advantage most of the time. If I'm able to serve it really hard with that top spin and it stays in bounds, that will give me a huge advantage. I don't really have to worry about my balls flying over the moon because most of the time they're getting just right into the line or they're painting the line if I'm gonna hit it really hard. And I like that about this paddle a lot. This is my #1 paddle for singles. Like when I wanna win, I will take it out. I actually prefer this more than the Diadem Edge Blue Core because this one offers something different for doubles that this one doesn't offer, but this one offers something different for singles that one doesn't offer. And so this one, it's so good, man. I mean, look, if you haven't tried it before, I would just recommend that you try it from a friend, try it in a singles game, just see how it does for you. I mean, honestly, I think it's amazing. I know other people are gonna hate on it. I think most people kind of hated on this thing. Like, I don't think I saw a single good review about it when it first came out. But if you've already tried it and you're kind of rethinking it, give it a second chance. I don't know, maybe you might find something that I did in this paddle because this is my #1 paddle for singles. Now for doubles, Diadem Edge Blue Core, you guys already saw my video. This is my new main, all right? I replaced the Boomstik for the Diadem Edge Blue Core because I just connect with this paddle perfectly. Like for me, I just have the most success with these 2 paddles. For singles games, I find the most success with the True Foam Waves 1. For doubles games, I find the most success with this Diadem Edge Blue Core 16mm version. Now I have the 14mm version too, and I was kind of going back and forth between those, but I think I'm sticking on the 16mm version because the 14mm version, it doesn't have as good of a sweet spot and it's a little less forgiving. Obviously, it's a 14mm. It does have good pop and it does have more power and a faster hand speed, But where I'm at right now, I think I need that forgiveness a little bit more. Maybe when I get more advanced, I'll switch to the 14 millimeter. But the 16 millimeter just does everything that I want it to do. It's got a good 5.8 inch handle or 5.75 inches, same thing, come on. It's got a good handle, okay? Really, really good handle. It's got a really good sweet spot. It's not like amazing, but it's definitely above average. It's got really good dwell time and top spin. It's still firm, but for whatever reason, there's still really good spin on this. Like when I'm serving the ball, I get a lot of top spin on my serves, and I like that. I really like that a lot. This 18K carbon fiber does wonders, man. I think more companies should try this out because it's really, really cool. I love the little, you know, like the cubes that you see on here too. It just adds to it. It's really cool. They also have a bunch of really cool technology. Like they have like these little shock guards right here, these little silicone inserts. They have like these really cool like foam inserts right here to kind of absorb even more shock. The power is really good on drives. The pop is surprisingly good. Like you don't think it's gonna be that hard, but when you're getting into hands battles, it keeps up with some of these other paddles like the Inferno, like the Boomstik. It does really, really good. And it just offers so much. And I just take advantage of every single thing that this paddle has to offer. I just click with it. I don't even need that much weight on it either. I only put 3 grams on this bottom corner and on this bottom corner right here. And that's about it. It just does really good. I'm telling you, I had a 5-hour play session when I first got this paddle. And after that 5-hour session, I was like, this is it, bro. Like, I think this is my new main. I think I just found it. I wasn't even looking for a new main, but I think I found it on accident and I've never looked back, man. This one is so, so good. I'm not going back to the Boomstik for a while because this one is just so good. Like, even if I do get better and I think I can handle the Boomstik, I still think this one's just as good. Like, it's so good in every other aspect. It's not as powerful, it's not as poppy and stuff like that, but sometimes you don't need that paddle to be super powerful, super poppy. I mean, a lot of the pros don't even play with Boomstiks either. And so they're not playing with Boomstiks, but they're still winning championships. And so that kind of shows that sometimes it's not even the paddle that matters. Obviously, it's gonna be the player. I still believe that it's like 25% paddle, 75% player. That's what makes up whether you're gonna win or whether you're gonna lose. Obviously, the paddle has something to do with it, but most pro players, they just play with whatever paddle is gonna fit with them the best. Whatever paddle they just kind of blend with the best and that makes them win games, just go with that one. I know a lot of pro players actually that play with different paddles for singles and for doubles. I know Ben Johns has been using like his original OG Perseus for singles and he'll use his Pro 4 for doubles. I know Roscoe Bellamy was playing with like a Tornado during doubles, but then he was playing with like a Pro XR, I think, for singles. And so people do that all the time. I'm just taking advantage of whatever is gonna do best for me for a singles game and for a doubles game. But those are my top paddles. What do you guys think of my top 5? I'm willing to bet that maybe 1 or 2 of these paddles is in your top 5 too, but what have you guys tried? I don't even know what paddles you guys have tried from my table right here. Maybe it's been more that you've tried, maybe it's been less, I don't know, but I would love to hear your top 5. What I want you guys to do is go in my comments, drop your top 5 of the year. Whatever top 5 paddles you've tried this year, tell me which ones are your top 5 for the year 2025. And I want you to argue it. Why does my top 5 suck? And why is your top 5 so much better than my top 5? I really want to see the conversations that you guys kind of get engaged with each other and with myself. I'm willing to defend my top 5 and I will stand on this ground and I will die on this hill at my top 5 right now. I know the year's not over. I know there's gonna be some, maybe few other paddles are gonna be coming out at the end of the year. Hopefully I don't have to rearrange my top 5 that soon, but I think my top 5 is gonna stay till the end of the year because these are just so solid. I don't think these are gonna be going anywhere right now. But that's gonna do it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed my second episode of What's in My Bag. I'll continue to do these about every month or whenever I feel like I've had a big change to my bag. I'll drop another episode of What's in My Bag. But if you guys liked this video, make sure you hit that like button. And if you wanna see more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll catch you guys again on the West Side.